Hi, Stephanie Ray, Accountability Evangelist, here to talk to you about the connection of maturity to accountability. And to do that, I want to share with you the homily that I recall the most from Father Mike Schrammel, may he rest in peace, who died suddenly last year. He was the pastor of our parish. Very, very sad when that happened. And I have been giving myself some solace in remembering some of the words that he shared with us over his time with us as pastor. And the homily that I enjoyed the most, or maybe I shouldn't say enjoyed the most. I enjoyed a lot of his homilies, but the one that stuck with me the most, that I felt I could take with me and continuously repeat it and share it, was one he did many years ago. Actually, he was talking about how children would come to him and maybe complain a little bit about not being considered mature, and that they weren't given responsibilities, or maybe their parents weren't recognizing that they had become mature, that they were maturing. And he would ask them about taking out the garbage, for example, and whether they do that. And they would say, yeah, when I do it, when I'm told to do it, or when I'm asked to do it. And he said, well, maturity is when you do it because it needs to be done. And that's the difference. Raising children myself, I know it's difficult to have to continue to remind kids to do things that they really should just be doing. So as they evolve in their maturity, a great sign is when they start to notice, oh, there's dishes in the sink. Maybe I should put them in dishwasher, or if you don't have a dishwasher, wash them. Or I shouldn't be leaving my coat on the floor, or throwing my book bag on the table when I get home from school. When they take care of those things without being asked, because it's just the right thing to do and it needs to be done, that's a sign of maturity. And that's a sign of an accountable person, right? Accountable people pay attention to what needs to be done and they do it. They don't need somebody to tell them to do it. They see that it needs to be done and it gets done. Now, when you tie that to your goal pursuit, that will take you farther, faster when you have that attitude. That's what maturity is all about. So even if you're an adult, not a child, not a teen listening to this, maturity is still relevant. Even in adulthood, you can have immature moments. But I think it's important to recognize that those two things, maturity and accountability, are very closely related. And take heart the example shared by my dear beloved past pastor, Father Mike, about maturity, right? This is something that you do not because someone asked you to, not because somebody told you to, not because you had to do it, but because it needed to be done.